My name is Dimitri Silva. I'm part of Teldio. I work on the support team and operations team. I'm also part of the sales engineering team. Today, our webinar will be on our installation and support process at Teldio. Before I begin, a few housekeeping announcements. Everyone that's on this meeting, you are all muted, so you will only hear my voice. But you can ask questions. You should see a little chat icon that's available to you. You can send questions through that chat to us. We will answer all questions at the end of the presentation. But you're welcome to send it during the presentation as well. Another thing is this presentation is being recorded, so we will send out a recording of the presentation at the end of it, so you can share with your colleagues or watch later as needed as well. So real quick before we get started about Teldio, for those of you who might not be familiar with us, we have been around for over 10 years. Our primary focus is has been and is still about making applications for two-way radios, mainly Motorola two-way radios. But you can also think of us as a systems integrator, because a lot of our applications that we offer is about integrating things that customers already have, such as phone systems, alarm systems, PA systems, emails, and being able to take it from one source and send it to the other, where we are the integrator who make that happen. So the reason we chose support and install process as a topic is sometimes we hear some hesitance from radio dealers about selling applications, and because it's a completely fair point, it's because they're not that familiar with the applications. You are a radio dealer, that's what you're trained to do, so applications are a whole new component. So there's hesitance in trying to quote it, trying to qualify an opportunity. How do we know how to configure an application? How are we going to support these things after it's installed? So those are all valid concerns. So that's where we come in. So we want to tell you that as Teldio, we are here to help you during the pre-sales process, during installation and post-install. So this presentation will take you through those stages and show you how we help you. So we will first focus on pre-sales. So this is for the sales staff that's on the call. I'm sure you all get phone calls from customers who are excited about an opportunity. They saw something on the internet, they saw something on Teldio's website. They're like, okay, I want that app. Please quote me this. I have 100 radios, please quote this. And it would be nice to just turn around and quote it, but we are here to make sure that we qualify that opportunity for you. So just because someone thinks, hey, I have a phone, so I can get Teldio or RBX on my radio. So I have a fire panel, so I can get Teldio alarm control system on my radios. Most of the case, that might be the case, but we want to make sure that we work with you. We begin with the radio network. We make sure we ask you what your current radio network mode is, how many repeaters you have to figure out the capacity of your radios to see how well we can layer on our applications on there. We ask you about your radio model to make sure our applications are supported on there. Then we make sure that we talk to someone, we have go through you to talk to someone on the actual customer team, to, if it's an integration piece of software, to make sure that what we are integrating to can actually feed us the information that we need or has the components that we need already. As much as we would like to just quote everything, we want to make sure that we don't lead you astray. We want to make sure that the solution works. And at this point, our sales reps will actually get myself and anyone of our sales engineering team involved to talk to your techs, talk to the customer's technicians, and we encourage that highly to make sure that we quote you something that works for both you and the customer. And if there is an opportunity that we can fulfill, we will tell you so, and we just won't quote you, and in some cases we will even recommend you something that would work better for you and the customer. So once we've qualified an opportunity, what we can do is our sales team can put together a quote for you, and we present professional PDF quotes that you can share with your customer. We can give you dealer pricing, our pricing to you, or we could put something together that you can present to the customer, which will have MSRP in there as well. And this quote, it's not just a list of items with prices next to it. It has information on things such as on what you need in terms of radios. Perhaps you need to add some mobile radios to this quote, and we will list that out for you. We will list exactly how many you need and what models. You might need some radio licenses to be added to this. It'll list that. And all that information will be there. We might add some additional notes. Our sales reps will go over this quote with you to make sure that you know what you're purchasing and what you need. Another thing we have is a Teldio dealer quote tool. This is a web-based dealer quote tool where each of you can actually sign up and create your own quote. So I'm actually going to step away from the presentation for a second to show you what our quote tool looks like. So this is our online web-based quote tool. It's a questionnaire-based. Think of it as a wizard where you can input information such as quote title, your customer name, how many radios you have on your network. Then you can go to the next page where you see a lot of applications filled out, and you can check to see, okay, let's say in this case we are quoting an ACS system. There are express bundles built in. ACS is our alarm control system, where you can say, I have email input. I want to output to the our customers via radios and smartphones, and I have 20 that I want to output to. So it's just selecting and moving, selecting and generating, inputting information. Then once you hit generate quote, I've gone ahead and actually generated the quote for you. It generates something in a PDF format that looks like this. These are those requirements that I talked about, where we list. You can either use control stations or repeaters. If it's control stations, that's what you need. If it's repeaters, this is what you need. And our prices and our items listed out for you to share with your customers. So it's all PDF based. And if you generate a quote, this automatically notifies the sales rep for your region, so that you know our sales rep that can now actually check the PDF for you and make sure, check the quote for you and make sure and make any adjustments as necessary and work for you to add things, remove things, and adjust requirements. So just to go back, quotetool.teldio.com. If you go there, you can actually sign up for an account and work with your sales rep to get quoting. Other ways our sales team helps you during the pre-sales process is they are happy to hop on a plane, hop in a car, and come actually visit you at your dealership. It could be to go visit an important customer. With you, so you're not going in there alone to pitch applications. It could be for sales training. They will come in there with a demo kit and show you how applications work and walk you through and let you get familiarized with the applications. We can also do webinars just like this, but more personalized. It could be, again, just to your team or to a customer as well. We actually have a demo system here at our headquarters up in Ottawa, Canada. We're actually in the current room right now where we can set up a video and do some live demos for you, so the customer can see what's going on. We can interact with the customer, have them make a phone call to a radio, and show them what it looks like. Our marketing team also works with you to personalize any collateral that we have. It could be brochures, presentations, case studies. They're all available freely on our website with our logo, but if you want to put your logo on it, put your colors on it, just let your sales rep know. So we can do that for you very quickly at no cost to you, and you can then share it with your customer, so it looks like it's all coming from you. So the customer's not asking you, what does this tell you? They know you are the radio dealer, so it's all a centralized message for them. So that's a quick way of how we help during the pre-sale stage. And these are the sales reps that you can work with. I'm sure you know these faces. Jeff, who takes care of the southern and western U.S., and Kale, who takes care of Canada and parts of northern U.S. So you have their information and phone numbers. Feel free to give them a call. Next up, installation support. So we've qualified the opportunity, we've quoted something to you, and you've gotten the sale. So what happens next? That's where the Teldio support team comes in. And we like to break down the installation to 4 main stages. There is the shipment of the software, and there's a bit more information gathering in addition to what we've already done at the pre-sale stage. And there's the actual staging process and the on-site install itself. And I'll take you through all of this. Shipment, if it's simple, we do usually include a server in with all our codes. It's just easier that way because it's a server that we've approved, and it'll have all the hardware and software components preloaded as you needed. Customers can provide their own server. If they provide their own server, we will just send you the software download links. And the radio equipment will be provided by you. So these are things that it could be cables, antennas, mobile radios, and we will list what those will be. There might be some non-radio equipment that's needed, and if it's a Teldio component, we will send that to you. But if it's something that we need from the customer, we will include that in the pre-sale stage, and we will give information on what's needed at during this stage. And then comes the information gathering. So we actually include a little sheet with every shipment we send about what to do. And the very, very first step is to pick up the phone and give us a call when you're ready to get going. And just to kind of rehash, because sometimes, as you know, you could sell a system in June, but it might not get installed until September. So not everyone's going to remember the details. So and also you're not. Now it's the technicians working with the technicians, not the sales rep working with the sales reps. So give us a call where we get some quick information and set up target deadlines to work with you towards the date. And it's very important to get the right contacts at this time. The customer decision maker. This is not usually could not always be the person who ends up using the system. It could be someone like a manager who knows, okay, this is exactly what I want. So at the pre-sale stage, maybe it said, I want my manufacturing alarms to go to the radios. But then during the installation stage, there might be someone saying, I want type A alarms to go to this group. I want type B alarms to go to that other group. So that person who will know that information, we need to get that information about who they are. The customer network team, if this is a network-based deployment, we would need to work with them. And if it's an integration-based deployment, we would need to know who to work with at that point. So the initial call will help us get all that information together, which leads us to the most important part in installation, which is staging. Cannot stress how important staging is. This helps us make sure it's a streamlined installation where there are no surprises, everyone's on the same page, and we actually have quite a few tools to make sure that everyone's on the same page. We have a checklist, interactive checklist. We have a D3M diagram, which is a network and design management, project management tool, which has all the information, and we have an installation calendar. So all these tools to help you navigate the install well, and it's all personalized to your install and to your availability. So I'm just going to quickly go over the checklist, D3M diagram, and installation calendar examples. The checklist is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a checklist, which just outlines everything that we have to do from A to Z to complete an install. And it includes information for both you, the radio dealer, and the end customer. And it's a checklist that auto-evolves through the install. Again, I will step out for a bit, and I will show you what a checklist would look like. So it could be something as simple as this, where it's a non-integration installation, where R2R is our recording solution, where all we're doing is listening to radio talk groups. So we just need a bit of information from you. We just list everything out, and we just really don't need much from the customer except internet access on the day of the install. It could also be something a lot more complicated, where we have a lot of applications going into a system. So where again, it's a checklist, we list everything out. So this is a bit of summary. This tells you everything we need from you, the radio dealer, in terms of hardware, for what we need for every application, and this outlines everything that we need from the customer in terms of network IPs, and we break it down per application. And you're more than welcome to, it comes as a link, online link, so you can share this with your customer very easily, and they can update it. And as we go through the installation, we can go and complete steps. And as we complete it, the link will update for you as well, so you know what's being completed, what's next, what we have to do. All right. The next thing we have is actually won't even go full screen because we're going back to it. The next thing we have is a D3M diagram. You will, if you're familiar, we have a application that actually helps you draw out radio networks and input information such as radio IDs, serial numbers, firmware version, IP addresses. So if you have a D3M account, then that makes it ideal. We can work with you, we can share this project with you, we can actually collaborate in real time. If you don't, we still put this diagram together for our own purposes, and we can share that information with you and let it evolve through the process. So this is the example of a deployment that we do where you see exactly what kind of information that you need to input, what connects to the computer via what kind of IP network information we need, what kind of connections that are needed. It's all there, and we input information down to the frequencies, color codes, to on the repeaters, so that all the information is stored in one place. And the other tool that we use is our installation calendar. This also is very, very important when it comes to deploying. So this is a live look at our installation calendar. This is available on our website. We also send it to you in that checklist that I showed earlier. The thing here, we went through a few years during initial stages where we were getting calls from dealers left and right, and it ended up that we weren't giving the proper attention to, we weren't able to give the proper attention to every dealer because we were double, triple booked. So this is a way to make sure that we give you dedicated attention, and you get to pick the time, not us. You see when we are available, so you can go pick a time slot. So let's say someone wants to book a time tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You just click on that time slot, put your name, email, your customer name, and you can book anywhere from 30 minutes to 4 hours. And that way you're in our calendar, you get our dedicated attention for this install. So all these tools to help you navigate and install. So what do we do with all these tools? So with the checklist, with D3M, and once you schedule the time with us, you might have seen it on the checklist. A lot of the time we get the request, hey, send us a cold plug guide, and we will make that it's for you. And we appreciate that, but every radio system is different, and depending on which applications you layer on it, everything could be different. So what we ask you to do is set up your code plugs like you would as if there were no applications on it, and then send it to us. And at that point, we would make the edits on those code plugs for you and send it back to you. But we won't leave it a mystery. We will actually tell you exactly what we changed. And we will walk through all of them with you, so you are aware of what we changed. Make sure that it doesn't interfere with anything that you want to do in the radio network, and also you're aware that what needs to be done as we deploy. Then another thing we do is during the staging process, we configure the application with you with things such as radio IDs, names, IP information. We have it. Again, we do the configuration for you, but we walk you through what we changed and why. So this way, on site, if you may have to make a minor change, such as change a radio ID, change a name, or in the future, if you had to make a change, you are aware of what you need to do. We also, depending on the application, depending on how much training is needed, we train you on how the application works so that you can train the user on our applications as well. And in some cases, we're able to provide you with videos that we have, which you can share with your customers. So it's even easier to show them how the things work. Another thing we do during the staging process is contact those integrators, the network team that we identified during that information gathering session. We contact them for you to make sure that they're on the same page, because you don't have to speak their language. We talk with them direct and tell them, hey, this is what you need. Make sure, and we're going on site on this date. Please make sure you're available. This is, and we will need you at that point, and we give them our contact information. So we pretty much manage the install for you when it comes to the application side of things. It's all about making sure that you don't have to do the application install alone. Then comes the last stage, which is the on-site install. When you're on site, a remote connection helps us a lot to actually, remote into the software. We use TeamViewer mostly to do some final configuration, do some actual integration testing, and no matter how much we plan, new things could come up on site. People may have given us wrong information. We work with you to make sure everything gets installed that day. We still continue to navigate this, and if in cases where the customer doesn't want to give you an internet connection, a lot of the radio dealers use a cell phone to tether the internet. So if all else is not possible, we do what we call a blind install, where we walk you through what needs to be done. So we can help you every step of the way to get things installed. And if you want us to be on site there with you on the day of the install, we do also offer that. Someone from our support team can be on there, but it is for an additional fee, which covers our travel and time on site. Speaking of the support team, so this is a support team here. That's me on the left. On the right is Mark, and we have other roles within the company, but support is something what we take pride in. Everything else gets dropped when there's a support request. So we need to help you make sure that your support process, installation process is a breeze, and you're comfortable with what you're installing. So now a system has been sold, system has been deployed. Here comes the post-installation process. So this could be anywhere from a week after to 2 years after the installation. So this is to cover all those requests. So support post-install could be a change that they want to make. It could be issue they started having, an addition they want to make. Our support contracts that are in place cover you for all of this. The first year of bronze support is included with every Teldio purchase. This is for additional support. We have 3 levels: bronze, silver, gold. The main difference is the times that we are available. We have some standard response times there, but we usually break those times and get back to you faster. But bronze, as I mentioned, is 95 Eastern. Silver is a little bit earlier, and also weekends. Gold means you can call us on Christmas. We hope you don't, but you can technically call us on Christmas. And if your customers have an issue, we'll help you. And post-install support, this is Motorola introduced this managed services contracts. They are essential services package that helps you manage your support contracts with your end users. And if you have that, make sure to build the Teldio support into that support renewal as well. You can work with your sales rep to do it during the initial sales stage, or we can add that afterwards. So for example, if you always add a 5-year support contract for your Motorola services, then add a 5-year support for your Teldio services as well. All that said, let's say your support contract has expired and your customer system's now working, and it's because of something issue with the Teldio's software. It's not like we won't pick up the call for you. If your customer system's now working, we will help you through it. We'll make sure that they are back up and running, and work the support contract details after the fact. But if it's just something as just making a minor addition, changes, you can go back to that calendar and just schedule a time with us, and we will work with you, provided the support contract is in place for changes. And you don't have to worry about keeping all the information intact in place. As I mentioned, we log everything in a D3M project, so all that information is stored. So we have all the latest information there. So you just call us, and we will take care of any changes with you. So that was a quick overview of how we support you through the pre-sale stage, the installation stage, and the post-installation stage. A lot of talking. I hope this was useful. And at this point, if you have any questions, please send us the questions through the chat. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any questions. So I think, yeah, that was a pretty thorough presentation in terms of the information. But if you have any questions after the fact, you can also contact us. These are our sales numbers, our support numbers, and our email addresses. You know who you can contact, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.